Поранешниот амбасадор на САД во Скопје, Џес Бејли, вели дека уставните измени се решение за бугарското вето и оти македонските граѓани ќе ги видат придобивките неколку години од сега, слично како со Преспанскиот договор. Бејли во интервју за Гласот на Америка на македонски потсетува дека и Преспанскиот договор бил критикуван на почетокот, но дека веќе никој не го спори позитивниот исход од него.
Unfortunately, you do now have this Bulgarian veto on moving the process forward. There's a clear solution put out there. Not everybody likes that solution, but I think 5 years hence, making that constitutional change, I think 5 years in the future, I think people would find that it was a positive step for the country. I get that a lot of people oppose it, and I sympathize with people's frustration over it as well.
На прашањето дали Преспанскиот договор потврли да испорача во однос на европската перспектива, Бејли рече:
I don't think it failed the perspective because Prespa, of course, was with Greece, and its blockade specifically, really more in NATO. That's where it began. But clearly, it was designed to pave the way for the EU.
Ако државата не ги отвори преговорите сега, Бејли вели дека не е јасно колку долго дополнително ќе биде одложено пристапувањето во ЕУ.
How long? I don't know. Going back to the Prespa agreement, I did say pretty clearly to people that I didn't think there was going to be a better deal on Prespa anytime soon if it was rejected. And so that's a consideration that people have to weigh, and that leaders in particular have to weigh.
Но што ако повторно има вето од Бугарија откако би се направиле уставните измени?
The United States would be disappointed if further actions that of this nature came forward. Now, that said, as you go through the process in open chapters, certain countries are going to want to make sure that the criteria themselves are fulfilled. So there'll be other issues along the way. And so I think it's important not to see every question as an illegitimate question among member states, because that is part of the process, and certain ones, and particularly I think on the rule of law, there'll be a lot of questions asked about that.
Сепак, вели Бејли, клучно за влез во ЕУ ќе бидат реформите, особено корупцијата и владење на правото.
I think that what will strengthen the fight against corruption in the country are the actions by the judiciary and the institutions in Macedonia to fight this. Maybe U.S. sanctions or maybe U.S. designations can help in that regard, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the citizens of the country and the institutions of the country that are going to have to combat this. So it's not that there's going to be some magic sanction that comes from the outside and suddenly resolves the problems. And that can't provide confidence in the institutions. The institutions have to earn it.
Во однос на истрагата на јавното обвинителство поврзана со договорот за изведба и надзор над изградбата на коридорите 8 и 10Д во насока на утврдување на елементи на евентуално сторено кривично дело, Бејли рече:
I do know that Bechtel is a very reputable American company that has worked all over the world and has delivered very good results for in many places. That's what I know. Of course, this is an issue for institutions to look at, and that's perfectly normal. I think it's also important to keep in mind how these larger contracts work and the different mechanisms that are used for it. I think building the Corridor 8 and 10 is a very important part of Macedonia's economic future.
Следната недела на 17 јуни се одбележуваат 5 години од потпишувањето на Преспанскиот договор, со кој државата го промени името во Северна Македонија, а следната година стана членка на НАТО алијансата.
In the end, 5 years back, it looks like a good agreement to me. North Macedonia is in NATO as foreseen after resolving the issue. Its relations with Greece are significantly better, including in important areas like energy. And now Macedonia is surrounded by neighbors who are its sworn allies in a security alliance. That's a very different situation than you had in 2018.